Welcome to the Bandaranaike Academy for Leadership and Public Policy, Mr. Asela Waidyalankara. He is a cybersecurity expert with an academic background in law. He will be lecturing the elective on emerging technologies with artificial intelligence and cybersecurity of the Executive Credential in Leadership and Public Policy course, which will commence in October this year. So, my first question to you, Mr. Asela, is in terms of your current batch, if you can tell us the diversity, the background of knowledge they, come with, in terms of like how did you select them, and what do you think about the diversity of the class?
Excellent question, Ishani. Thank you for that kind introduction. It's a very interesting mix of students. We have students from the public sector as well as the private sector. We have people from middle management to people in CXO level, people who are leading teams, people who are head of divisions, people who are head of departments, people with a law background. So, that diversity actually adds an interesting element to the class, because most of our lectures are not theoretical. We do discuss a little bit on theory, but it is more of discussion based. And when you have diverse backgrounds, the discussion becomes very enriched, because they give their different perspectives. And of course, there is one gentleman who is in the military background. So, then the conversation becomes very rich, and their different points of view add to that richness of that conversation, because end of the day, it is not about understanding technology. You must understand how technology works for you within your organization, with your setting, and that is important when you have different backgrounds. So, they say the marketplace of ideas. I think my students are a good example of the marketplace of ideas.
Okay. So, actually my next question is also related to that. Now, when I am getting inquiries for the Executive Credential in Leadership and Public Policy course, most of the students, they are asking whether there is a prerequisite that they have to have a background from cybersecurity side, or from that field. Is there a prerequisite like that, and if so, what are the prerequisites?
There are no prerequisites. Actually, it's an excellent question. I'm glad you asked that. I think we should clarify to our students. The only prerequisite you need is to understand technology and to be with technology, and that is not difficult, because in your day-to-day lives, if you are using social media, if you are using email, if you are using a messaging platform, if you are using a banking application, if you are using a smartphone, you are embedded to technology in your life, and that is the real prerequisite you need, because anything beyond that, we will take you on a journey to you to understand how technology interplays with society and your life. I think that is the important thing, and how it impacts businesses, how it impacts a country, how it impacts an economy, all of that we will discuss. But what you need to understand as a person, yes, have an awareness of technology, be a user of technology, which most of you are, and if you are watching this, you are using technology to watch this most likely. So, that is the prerequisite I want, just to have an awareness of technology.
If you can tell us about the areas you are going to cover in the first module, which is it's an introduction to emerging technologies. What are the areas you will be covering in that module?
Well, very broadly, we will talk about technology's interplay with society, and we will start, for example, with the fourth industrial revolution, what that means, how it has changed, what is different from that to the other industrial revolutions, because that's important for you to understand that. And then we will sort of look at the evolution of technology. How did we get here, and how now technology is being used for different things within industries, within businesses, within finance, and for a country. Once you have an understanding of that, then we will touch upon the new emerging technologies. For example, artificial intelligence, the part it plays in the modern world, the part it will play in the future. These are very important discussions people are starting to comprehend, understand, because they realize things like AI will impact their work, and they need to form an understanding of how they do that. And I'm hoping that most of the cohort that will come want to become policy leaders, people, decision makers, people who will shape policy. Now, people like that need to have an appreciation and understanding of technology, and that is hopefully in the first semester, that is the gap we are trying to bridge.
Yeah. So, in terms of the percentage of theory versus practical knowledge you will be covering, like in the lecture, can you let us know, like, are there any practical knowledge? I mean, how is it kind of lecturing at the class, or how it's going to be the composition?
Anyway, my style is to make sure you understand pragmatically these things, because theory can be taught, theory can be learnt by any medium. You can sometimes Google these concepts. The idea is for you to understand the spirit of it and understand the pragmaticness of it, and that is where we focus on. So, we do mostly, yes, it's a blended learning, but we do discuss certain concepts, but more importantly through discussion, through debate, through asking for their ideas, we will make you understand what that means to you. And of course, we will take you on study tours, we will take you on research trips, where you will get an understanding of some of these technologies that you have not seen. For example, one of the key things we do is we take you to, and the current batch that I am lecturing, we have done this, we take you to a data center. Now, mostly it's just a word for most people, they hear the word. But there's a lot that happens within a data center, and unless and until you see that, you practically experience that, you will not get an appreciation and understanding of it. So, this is the type of learning we want to do. For example, another one is we go to an undersea cable landing station. That is where the internet cables come into Sri Lanka. Once you go there, you understand, okay, this is how the internet comes in. This is how it works. So, you gain this appreciation, okay, this is the backbone of the internet. And once you see them practically and you physically see these structures, you see these places, then it becomes imprinted in your mind. The learning becomes very easy.
And most of them will not have access for that as well. I mean, it's a chance for you to, join with your colleagues and visit. Yeah. So, there's another module you'll be covering in the cybersecurity threat landscape and risk management. If you can brief us on that module, please.
Again, this is a natural progression of what you will be learning, because you will learn how important technology plays in your lives and in business, and then you will understand that part of that, because technology has a very close relationship with the modern world, securing that technology, ensuring that technology is what we call robust, trustworthy, that is important. There is where cybersecurity comes in, and we will understand what you mean by cybersecurity. Because a lot of people, you hear this word, it's a buzzword now, but we will actually spend a considerable amount of time trying to understand this word, because that's important. Then we will understand what role that plays, because just as, yes, technology is important, having technology in your business or in policy is very important. In a country, it becomes essential. Digitization of a country is linked to its economic growth, its efficiency, and all of that. But how do you do that in the proper way? And that is the role cybersecurity will play. So, I will stop there, because there's a huge discussion. But of course, what you need to appreciate and understand is, because of cybersecurity, there is a risk when you digitize and when you use technology. You will have an understanding and a comprehension and appreciation of that risk. And because of that, you will make better decisions. And hopefully, that is the outcome that I'm trying to have with the students.
Okay. So, thank you so much, Ms. Asela Waidyalankara, for joining us today to, brief on the areas you're going to cover in the elective. And we believe that, this will help you to take a, decision in terms of selecting your elective. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for everyone for joining in. Thanks.